We are here and I am live. Yay! It is Mars Day, Tuesday, January 16th, and here we are for Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace. We are one day late, but at the same time, it's all good. It's here we are. So I'm excited to talk about all the things this week has already proven to be challenging. So, we're going to discuss the astrology. We're going to discuss where the moon is every day and what is happening. My notes are extensive, my journaling is still going. I follow the book, and I also have another journal that I just write notes in, ideas, and what I'm studying, so on and so forth. And so there's a lot going on. And I wonder if it's the same for you. So we're starting the week with the sun square Neptune, or maybe that's happening later, actually. That's happening Friday. But the thing about that big, I call it big because any time that the sun, our intellect, any time that the sun, which is very present in our lives. So even though it may not be close, it just feels like close to us. I don't know if you know what I mean. It's there. You can't miss it, right? Because you see it every day. Every time the sun creates a challenging aspect with one of the outer planets that represent our subconscious, the obscure, the deepest, right? Like Neptune, every time this happens, I feel like it's not just about the day that the transit is exact, but also a few days before and a few days later. It's I don't know whether to call it a ripple effect. I don't know whether to just call it a vibe, right? An energetic feeling that just kind of reflects throughout. And even though this sun square Neptune is going exact on Friday, I feel like we're already there with like overthinking and catastrophizing and just the way that it showed up for me today with the moon in Aries, which I'm going to connect the two dots in a second. The way that it showed up for me today was viscerally and physically frozen, right? In a state of freeze, while my brain is bombarding me with what's wrong, why it's going wrong, and just a lot. It's just a lot, right? And when this and this are disconnected, you feel even more discomfort. And so, if you're already going into this week, it's Tuesday now. So, if you've already started feeling the discomfort of like overthinking and being drama, but not in a bad way. How can you be drama in a good way? Okay. How can I be drama in a good way? I'm just saying, a lot going on, but being drama in a bad way to me feels like being dramatic, like on purpose, like to poke at someone, right? But if you're being drama, then there's a lot to work through. And it feels like this week, with the waxing crescent that we started, which is another aspect added to it, because the new moon is all about intentions and it's all about planting seeds and it's all about kind of looking ahead. But the waxing crescent is what starts to shed light on what needs to be worked on, what could potentially be in your way, what is, what are you tired of? What are you done with? And it's been my experience that when the moon sheds light on something that I need to work on, I am I am in discomfort for as long as I don't work on it. And so I hope that resonates because even putting it into words feels challenging right now. And Mercury, it's also doing its thing, and it's challenging patterns of communication because Mercury is in Capricorn right now. And so all of communication styles and how we translate, how we think, and what we say and how we say it, it's all being challenged right now. And so I feel like triggered would be the word. Triggered might be the word for this week. So if you're here, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. It's Tuesday. It's a different date and time that we normally meet, but here we are. And it's already starting to be a very challenging week. We started the week with the moon in Pisces, but by Monday night, the moon was in Aries. And that's great, except one, depending on your Aries placement in your chart, because the moon in Aries is always going to also play a part and highlight where Aries is in your chart, especially in the next, I don't know, 18 months or so, a little bit less than that, because of the North Node being in Aries. And we have an eclipse coming in Aries as well in April. And so, whatever this moon and every moon in Aries, anticipating, before that eclipse, whatever comes up when the moon is in Aries in preparation for that eclipse might be what that eclipse will force you to work through or to work with. And so, somebody like me with Venus in Aries, that makes me kind of weary of like, ugh, what drama is going to happen in my own relationships, right? Because that's Venus. Or how are things going to play out, because Aries is a cardinal sign, which means it likes to propel things, it likes to start things, it's at the beginning of things, if you will. It is the first sign of the zodiac, right? And it's a fire sign, and fire burns, fire expands, fire obliterates, fire destroys. So it's important to find the balance between nurturing our passions, which is the fire within, nurturing our passions and what we are currently working on without excess, because excess leads to burnout, right? So we're starting the week with coming from a very emotional weekend with the moon in Pisces, a very kind of visual weekend. You might have had difficulty sleeping or vivid dreaming, and that's very Pisces moon. Now going into a fire sign that kind of motivates you because it's a fire sign, but at the same time, Aries will always point out what your own convictions are, what your own truth is, what you really want, as opposed to what's being asked of you or what you have to do out of duty. And so if you are in a position where all of these things are disconnected, you're going to feel the discomfort. So that's something that I felt today when I'm over here trying to focus on something while my child plays independently. But as soon as I focus on what I want to do, what I could be doing now that this opportunity has presented itself, as soon as I focus on that, my child, who is not 5 yet and who has special needs and who obviously, right, needs me, and that's okay, he comes over, right, and just keeps interrupting me, right? And that's okay, and that happens. But the moon in Aries just kind of makes it a little bit more frustrating. And I wonder how that shows up for you, because being frustrated is also okay if it is part of the process and if I'm just flowing through it, as opposed to focusing on it and then getting angry, right? There's that fire growing, but in a negative way. If I focus on the frustration, it's just going to lead to something negative. If I focus on my child and just focus on flowing with what's coming up, then I'm just going to shift gears and go back to this. And so it's a constant, some people might even call it exhausting. That's okay. Um, Work or mission to flow through the energy as it comes. So, how are you doing with that? And if you've never thought about it like that, then how can you figure out a way to put this into practice, right? Bringing up where the moon is and discussing the things that we discuss in this broadcast is my own attempt at putting into your awareness things that may be influencing your emotions and your emotional state and your wellness overall, so that you might have a clue. There might be a plethora of other things that are going on within you and in your environment and really within you that may play a part in why things are going the way they are in your life. And of course, I can't know just from here unless you book a call and we connect, and that's fine and confidential. But it really all flows differently, and going through it and not against it is the ultimate goal, right? So we'll see how that plays out this week. After the moon is in Aries, we're going to have it in Taurus. So I feel like with the sun square in Neptune, Friday and Saturday is when, well, Thursday from 8 a.m., we have the moon in Taurus. And so we're going from a fire sign that hopefully jump started something. Maybe you put something or implemented something that you've been kind of putting off. That may happen as well this week. Now going into a Taurus, an earth sign, a fixed earth sign. So it's hopefully a window of opportunity to see manifesting into the real world some results, because earth, right? uh you know this book is all air, and I put the fire into the air to put the book together, and my passion comes into play to finish the goal and see it through, and then earth comes into play and we have it in our hands, right? So that's one way to look at manifestation. But I'm hoping that the sun square Neptune going exact on Friday will be a bit appeased, if you will, or if nothing more than at least nurtured in a way by that moon in Taurus, which hopefully will help us be grounded as opposed to in our head. Sun square Neptune can just make that internal dialogue be a little louder, a little more frantic, and a little bit faster. And that can be overwhelming, tiring. And if you're not aware of what part your intrusive thoughts play in your life, then you might be even more stressed out, not knowing what's wrong, not knowing why you're acting the way you're acting, or even hurt others or even hurt yourself. And that's definitely not what I want. So I'm hoping that this week we can remember to take care of ourselves and to nurture ourselves. The moon in Taurus may prompt you to take a nap. And if you grew up like me, naps were not acceptable, then you have to really focus on that relationship, maybe, or at least give in and have a nap if that's what your body prompts you to do, right? And then on Saturday, with the moon in Taurus, we have a pretty big deal happening. After 2 p.m., the moon will be in Gemini. So that shift will be felt, starting the day nice and slow, right? With the moon in Taurus, and then ending it a little bit more airy, breezy, and free, which is Gemini. But Saturday is a pretty drastic bookend, if you will. It marks the end of something and the beginning of something else, which is Pluto moving into Aquarius. And we're going to talk about this for a very long time. We're going to talk about this probably for the rest of the year. In September, Pluto will be back in Capricorn for a short little time, and then it's going to go back into Aquarius, and it'll be in Aquarius for the next 44 years? No. It's going to be in Aquarius until 2044. So that's 20 years. And so, whatever Pluto in Aquarius brings up this Saturday might be a theme that just plays out and unfolds for you in the next 20 years. Isn't that amazing? Very interesting. And then, so that means that by the time my son is 25, Pluto will shift into the next sign over. And it's amazing. The way Pluto shows up is collectively, generationally, systematically, or systemically, I should say. And so we're going, or we have already started seeing a shift between the systems ruling over and oppressing the people, right? If you will. We've seen a lot of that in the last few years versus Aquarius, which is more about the people, by the people, for the people, from the people, right? And so we're going to see a shift, more people asking for what they want. Remember, I've brought it up before. The moon in Aquarius likes to have emotional freedom. So revolting and revolutionary and just not afraid to make demands. That's very Aquarius. And so collectively, we're going to see this shift, and it's already happening. I've seen on TikTok a lot of astrologers talk about the fact that that Pluto going into Aquarius means the end of idolizing celebrities. We are just not going to care about celebrities, apparently, in the next kind of generational shift. So I'm curious, as a Swiftie, I'm curious to see how this will play out. I know a lot of fanatical people for a lot of things, and not just celebrities. So, in terms of idolizing celebrities and putting them up on a pedestal, and then realizing that they're human beings just like us, and that this pedestal is BS. And then realizing that they're people just like us, and kind of shifting that mentality, I feel like that's fanatism being broken down. And so, will it be broken down for other ways that people are fanatical about, like systems and organizations? I'm curious. I'm curious as to see how that plays out, right? But again, we have 20 years, so we shall see. But in the end, Mercury is also complementing this week. It is going to trine Jupiter on Friday. A trine is just positive. It is room for improvement and optimism and just tender loving care. And in a week like this one, yeah, I think we need it, right? So we finish it off with the moon in Gemini. So you might want to socialize this weekend after the week you've had. Now, I feel like socializing or spending time with just people and substances can be very, it can just be a dangerous road when it comes to the sun square Neptune. And if it's Tuesday and you're feeling a little bit erratic up in your head, anticipating that exact transit on Friday, then you probably will be feeling it still Saturday and Sunday if you go out socializing, which means substances are only going to trigger more of that intrusive thought business, if you know what I mean. So hopefully you do the responsible thing, and you take care of yourself and take care of your mind and declutter, right? And do whatever it takes. My 2024 intention has been to be more intentional about my space, and I have kept up with this every day. I am putting clothes away as soon as they're done. I don't have a pile of clothes anywhere. I can see the floor. My sink has been clean at the end of every day since the year started. And I'm just grateful for the commitment and the optimism and the plan to see this through. I know it's only January 16th. We could be kind of sarcastic or pessimistic and think, oh, ask me again in the spring or ask me again in 6 months. And who knows? Who cares? The point is that right now I'm keeping up with my intention, and I'm letting you know how I'm doing with that, and just seeking that accountability and support, because that's what I'm here for. So that's it. That closes out our week. We have, if you're following the book, Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace 2024 Manifestation Agenda / Journal, available in the link in the bio. You can find it on Amazon. We have the waxing crescent in Pisces. By now, Tuesday, the moon is in Aries, but we do have an affirmation every week. And the affirmation for this week is, I honor, it's a very deep word, I honor the power of my dreams and imagination. I am ready to take inspired action and move closer to my heart's desires. What is your heart desire? What is the ultimate vision that you see for this year? What is the ultimate vision that you see for this week, right? We don't need to think that ahead, a whole year or 6 months. We can just work week by week. That's what I love about this, right? That we get to do it that way. And so let's do a short meditation and center and relax a little bit. I feel like I said a lot, and it's a quick episode because it's Tuesday and we don't need to drag it out, but I'm just so grateful. If you are one of the people that bought my book, I'm so grateful for you. Please leave a review on Amazon. Those always help, and I'm always forever grateful for the reviews that y'all left on my book last year. They're part of the reason why we're here having another book and continuing this conversation. So I'm just very grateful. And lots of water, lots of rest. And I will, of course, continue to do the morning calls on TikTok and Instagram so that we can just touch base every morning. That's what I like about that. So if you're willing and able, lay down, relax, settle down. Music for this meditation is brought to you by Brain FM. You can find a free trial in the link in the bio. I love the unguided chimes and bowls. Let's relax and take some deep breaths. Focus on your normal breathing. And follow my lead as I guide you through some breath work and some meditations. With me, take a deep breath in through your nose. Deep, deep, nice, long breath through your nose. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe out through your mouth. Long, extended breath out. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe in again through your nose. Deep breath. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale through your mouth. Long breath out. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and relax. And as you relax, I want you to envision the crescent moon, the deep blue sky, and all the stars aligning just for you. A moment of peace, a moment of calm awareness, a moment of passion and certainty. A moment where you know that you will get through this, that you will be okay. With me, take a deep breath in through your nose. Deep, deep, deep breath in. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. Nice and long breath out through your mouth. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And relax. And as you relax into this exhale and focus on your normal breathing, ponder this affirmation, feel it in your heart. I honor the power of my dreams. I am ready to take inspired action that brings me closer to my heart's desires. I am safe. I am calm. I am protected. With me, take one last deep breath in through your nose. Deep, deep, deep. Fill your lungs all the way. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale through your mouth. Long, long, long. Nice and slow. Extended breath out. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And relax. And as you relax, bring your awareness to this moment. Wiggle your toes and open your eyes and come back to me. And that concludes this conversation. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know what you think of this in the comments and what shows up for you. And I will see you on TikTok at somcoaching.tt or Instagram songofmyself.ig. I'll see you next Moon Day. Bye-bye.